Welcome back. Facebook did it and pretty much crashed and burned. Will Twitter be different? Seth takes a look at the story behind the Twitter IPO.
If you've been keeping your ear to the shiny white disinfected hyperallergenic floor of the technology scene, you'll know that Twitter has done some serious growing up in the last year as a company. Formerly the poster child for massively popular but essentially profitless tech startups, the microblogging service has worked very hard to monetize their platform through promoted tweets and advertiser-friendly curation tools like the #music app. And now they're filing an IPO. Filing for an IPO would make them a publicly traded company, giving big-time investors and average Joes alike the opportunity to claim their own slice of the Twitter pie and propelling the company into the realm of the corporate big leagues. So how does it work? In the most basic terms, a company files for an IPO, drums up capital via an investor roadshow tour, and then launches to the public, underwritten by a major bank. Specifically, Twitter has filed a confidential S1 IPO with the Securities Exchange Control in the US. Why confidential? US law allows companies with less than $1 billion in revenue per year to keep their intention to file for IPO quiet up until 21 days before any kind of investor roadshow. This gives companies the chance to pull their IPO documentation if key people like banks and investors react badly to the idea. So if Twitter has revealed, then they must have begun the process weeks ago, fed the rumor mill, and gotten a response that they liked. Which brings us to our next question. When will the IPO happen? For now, no one knows. There's no legal deadline for Twitter to adhere to between filing and going public. If we look at a company like Facebook, they announced their IPO filing in February 2012 and went public in May 2012. If Twitter were following the Facebook playbook, you'd probably expect their IPO launch in December, which seems to be the case. A source close to the company told Forbes reporters that they should expect Twitter to go public in the next few weeks. But is that a good idea? The United States have something of a packed holiday season. Squeezing in an investment roadshow between now and Thanksgiving, which is in November, would be tight, very tight. Perhaps too tight for them to drum up the investor support that they're after. That aside, what will investors actually be looking for during the roadshow and when the details of the filing are made public? It's all about revenue. Revenue, revenue, revenue. Investors will want to know how much of it there is and where it's coming from. On the volume front, analysts guess that Twitter's annual revenue is pegged at around $500 million, which is fine, but won't set the world alight. The better news for investors comes from Twitter CEO Dick Costolo, who reckons his company makes more money from mobile apps than it does from advertising on the web. Mobile is where the real profit is likely to be made by tech companies in the next 5 years. Which brings us to the final big question. How much will Twitter be valued at? Sources inside the company told US media outlets that a handful of hedge funds had tried to buy Twitter for around $14 billion in mid-2013, which would have given it a value of $27 a share. When they do go public, it's highly unlikely that Twitter will peg their share price above that mark. You and I have to hold on tight for a few more weeks to get clarity on all these details. But when they do go public, you can bet your life on the fact that you'll see the news first on Twitter. And that, my friends, is the real value of this company.